we can officially kickstart the presentation right here tonight. Here we go. Health trilogy, and I want to kickstart on the right footing. And thank you guys so much for turning up today, because I'm going to send out a very important message. But more importantly than the message, I'm going to give you actionable steps that you can take on. And I'm looking at the clock. You know, today I'm really feeling very easy, very relaxed, because I'm not constrained by time, but I'm more constrained by the fact that, can I have your attention span? Now, if you give me 2 hours of your attention span for the next 120 minutes, I assure you, your time will not be wasted. It's going to be one of the major presentations you ever come across in your life. And hopefully, I'm going to drive you and push you and kick your ass to the point that you are motivated to take charge of your financial destiny. So I'm going to ask you a serious question right now. How many of you are ready? And when I say you're ready, means that you have your black book with you. Holy moly, I want to see your black book with you. How many of you got a black book with you? And your pen. You need to have these two. And I got so many series of this black book. It's a life journal. And you're going to, at the end of your journey, you're going to have like hundreds of these copies like this. This is just one of the small subsets I have. And you're going to document everything in your life journal. This is very important. So you got your black book with you, and I'm all ready to kickstart. And here we go. My name is Dr. Clemen Chiang, and you can call me teacher. I prefer the word teacher or 老师 because I really love to teach. And you understand why? Because I teach with a passion to change lives globally. So on this note, I want to share with you the background of your teacher. And I think this is really important for someone who believes in hard work, for someone who believes in going through the traditional route of foundation, or what I call the foundation of wisdom. I was trained as a civil engineer from Singapore's Nanyang Technological University. And you know, this is the faculty where we were the smallest faculty back then in NTU. Only 200 of us. And guess what? After I graduated as an engineer, I went on to pursue MBA because that was my passion. I wanted to learn about the businesses of the world. And this MBA program with University of Louisville got me serious to write down my business plan for the first idea I had in my life. And back then I wrote down the idea, and guess what? I launched my very first business from the business plan I wrote in my MBA class. Then finally, I went on to pursue a PhD. I feel that, okay, let's go through the whole 9 years. And I graduated from University of Canberra. And the PhD, the specific Facebook API that I deployed for my research was exactly the same API that Cambridge Analytica company deployed for President Donald Trump, for him to win the US election. Wow, how cool that was, man. And today, even though I'm a PhD, I'm still a student. I'm still a student with Harvard Business School. I'm due to graduate in 2023 as part of the OPM program. So I want you to know the foundation of wisdom requires us to put in serious amount of hours in isolation to bring clarity to our thinking processes. This is really important. But the problem is this. The foundation of wisdom in the traditional academic backdrop, do they teach us how to make money? Now, can I have an answer from you guys on the Zoom chat? Answer this question. Do the traditional academic training, do they teach us how to make money? Yes or no? Here we go. I see all the no. Woo-hoo! So many of you have been no. Look in my eyes. Don't let you so much for those of you who are engaging with me on the chat. I love to see your response, all right? More importantly, I love to see your response on the video. And I say, some of you are shaking your head. Then you are scratching your head asking me, teacher, then why do we need to go to school? I want you to assure you that you still need to go to school. Because this process of going through the academic rigor is actually teaching us about a very important concept known as perseverance. We're going to relate this concept of perseverance and apply it in our real life such that you persevere enough to find the passion you want out of life. So it is important that we complete whatever opportunities granted to us, whether you're in a secondary school today, high school, college, polytechnic, university, complete it. Don't stop. And that perseverance built within you will allow you to find a passion, and you will not be wavering about your passion. I'm going to talk about passion in a short while later on, and why this is so important in us taking charge of our finances. So I went through the traditional route of education, and guess what? What is really important to me back then, I was also equally young, fast, and furious. And I set for myself a really ambitious goal. I wanted to become a millionaire by the age of 30 years old. And I was dreaming this up while I was still an undergrad in NTU, and I was still living in the dormitory all alone. I say, what do I want to do with my life? Why don't I make a big, audacious goal for myself? I want to become a millionaire. And here we go. I went to pursue all the different instruments of wealth. I started off with home properties. Now look at the top left right there. There's home properties. How many of you today, you have your own house? Can I show hands on the video? You have your own home. You bought your own house. All right, congratulations. And I can assure you that this is probably the biggest single investment you made in your life. All of us need a shelter above us. But it is also the largest and biggest mortgage you ever taken up in your life. Meaning to say, you wouldn't be paying up full cash for your house. You're borrowing from a bank. And you are probably into a debts for the next 15, 20, 30 years of your life, depending on the loan tenure. So how many of you understand this concept? Give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure you capture with me, flow with me really, really slowly on this concept. And that's the reason why, from the very first property I bought, I aim to generate $1 million profits. I didn't intend to keep the property for 30 years because that means servicing the loan for the 30 years. Oh my God, that's painful. You got to turn it around and make it a cash machine. So in my lifetime, I invested in, today to count, I invested about 15 different properties. And every property I set off with a target. How can I make $1 million pure profit return out of it? And that was my game plan. So I want to let you know, it is important for you to have a shelter, but it's also important for you to have a positive cash flow. During this period of pandemic, you will see many properties up for sale. And I'm looking at real solid properties. You know, I saw the whole bunch of sale going on right now in Sentosa Cove, selling at 12 million, 14 million per plot. Back then, they were used to be selling at 20, 24 million per plot, but right now it's dropped by half. And there'll be more mortgagee bank sale coming up because they can't afford to keep up the loan payment. So game plan number one, we go back to home properties. Is this something you're ready for this generation of our life? Because you're going to be embroiled in a long-term mortgage. That means you need to service your payment. Something for you to think about. Second area that I chased my $1 million profits is the area of stocks and options. I started off with this. I'm so passionate about it. I'm going to show you the kind of opportunities available to you where you can make between 5 to 100% profit return not in 1 year or in 1 decade, but in 1 day. And I'm going to show you why it is so important for us to switch our mindset, how to generate cash fast, get the cash flow in, so that you free up all these debts that you're paying off and servicing. Then that is the path of financial destiny. Now, on the bottom left, you're looking at digital businesses, and that's something I'm very passionate about. I've been an entrepreneur for over the last 20 over years already. And how many of you today you're entrepreneur? Can we show hands? Wave your hands right now if you're entrepreneur. Whoa! Wave your hands. Wow! We don't have that many of our entrepreneurs in this class here today. It's okay, perfectly fine. But if you're thinking about it or if you're building a career, I want to encourage you, please go after technology businesses. This pandemic has proven to us that if you are not in the tail end or at the front end, the very front end touching real technology, you are wiped out. Traditional businesses got killed over the last year. Right now, with the second wave of the lockdown, more and more businesses got killed because they're not into the area of technology and they're not capturing the global market. That's the key challenge right now as you are facing. And I made my $1 million of profits in all the past digital businesses I got involved in. And finally, the one on the bottom right, this is the one that I'm really passionate about. And that is none other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really, really huge. We're going to spend a significant amount of time today sharing you about Bitcoin, especially the price prediction. How many of you are really, really excited to know about Bitcoin price prediction? Wave your hands! You guys must be crazy! Center of attention, they all want some. I'm like fire, I'm like the sun. The dance burning, call 911. Okay, I'm going to touch about that. I really love the response from today, and I don't have the restriction of time. I'm going to really go slow and easy, dive deep, and I hope you capture the true essence of it. All right. Now I share about chasing after $1 million profits, but at the same time as you're making money, what is really, really important is to start thinking about, okay, I'm going to benefit, I'm going to make money. How about how much money I'm going to give up? Who's going to benefit from all this hard work I put in? I want to show you the next slide right over here. And again, something I'm very, very passionate about. This is a picture of me with a very, very old pastor, Pastor Bill. And, you know, he dedicated his whole life saving children from the slum areas in different parts of the cities out there. So on the backdrop here, you see about 5,000 children, and something that's at the core of my, something when I talk about, you know, I will start tearing, and I'm very, very passionate about orphan kids, children living in slum cities, and children who are underprivileged, children who basically got no one to turn to. So together in this Metro World Child Program, we go out there and feed the boys, feed the girls. We feed them 1 meal a day. And that kept them alive. This is the work that I do. And on the bottom left, you see this beautiful logo known as Kiva. And you can be involved in this today as well. Now, what I do is I help third world country, the entrepreneurs who just need the extra money to buy feed for their chickens, to buy seeds for their plantation. Simple things like that. I've been doing this for many years already. Entrepreneurs in 70 different countries worldwide. Today, likewise, you can do so. On the bottom right, you see a logo like a rainbow right there. And this rainbow is a stream of praise. This is one of the leading Chinese ministry in the world where they sing beautiful songs that uplift our spirits. So I go out there and help all these people. All right. It's all very, very important. Help all of them. Very, very important. And that's the reason why. Are you willing to give out as you receive? Something for you to think about today. Now, I've been there, done that. I've given like millions. I'm so proud of that. And that's the journey and the legacy I want to pass on. With that, I should start off by sharing with you how my story started from day one. I've been investing for 2 decades of my life already. Holy moly. Let's check this out, right? We're going to start off from here. And this part here is the part where most people neglected or didn't bother to go in and study really hard about it. I'm going to take you through the journey. I started first time investing in the year 2000. And can you imagine the very next year, the market crashed. And crashed because of what? 9/11, 2001, 9/11. That was like, holy moly, what a year to kickstart my investing journey. It was very tough, all right, because when the terrorists hit against the Twin Towers of New York and Twin Towers at World Trade Center, and when the buildings came crumbling down, the market crashed. It was a negative sentiment. Look over here, this period here. And right after that, 2 years later, the Americans wanted to kind of take their revenge, and they went after Iraq. And that started Iraq War, 2003. So can you imagine you start off your investing journey in this kind of climate? First, you have a bunch of terrorists to deal with. Next, you've got to deal with an international war. And that's not sanctioned by United Nations, but basically just the US and the British troops going invade into Iraq and telling the whole world there's weapons of mass destruction. And all they found is nothing. They found oil fields, by the way. I went through that journey. So by the time the market wants to recover and we were making easy money, and I explained to you the concept, what it means to make easy money. And that is this. When the market just goes up like this, it's very easy to make money. That's why the climate that you invest in today is very important. So we were making easy money, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, market goes up, easy to make money. And then the bad news came, bam, the market crashed overnight. That was known as the financial crisis of 2008. Big crash. And in this, I wanted you to know, under poor leadership of this man, he started off at here, and by the time he finished his 8 years tenure, he ended off at here. The market turned negative. This is extremely bad leadership for the global market. And you need to recognize the signs and signals behind it. Now, that being said, I was very blessed during that 8 year under President George W. Bush, because we found our niche to make money, extreme money in this period here. So the key focus of my presentation here today is to help you to identify, are you in this kind of season where the market is going up and away? And how many of you who want to know the answer? Wave your hands right now. Woo!
Center of attention, they all want some. I'm like fire, hot as the sun. The dance floor is burning, calling.
We started off with George W. Bush, and you understand the backdrop. And that means to say, under the leadership of each president, there is this tiny window we can make a lot of money. Easy, big money, but there's also a window whereby we'll stagnate, we're going to make small money. We're going to survive and make sure we can still grow our money faster than the rate of inflation. Today I'm going to talk to you about inflation crisis. And this is one of the recent 5 videos I put out on YouTube. Inflation crisis is spooking all the billionaires and the insiders of the world. We're going to touch on this point in a short while. Right now, I'm going to fast forward to the next 8 years. And the next 8 years, basically, who do we have? We have President Barack Obama. Holy moly. I'm going to put it like this. And he took over right at the bottom over here. That was the bottom. Right smack at the bottom, he took over from George W. Bush. And then look at what happened to the market. It just went all the way up. 8 solid years of making easy money. And you need to see this very clearly, because many people got blindsided about this phenomena, they got distracted, they never take charge of their finances or whatever reason. Boom, time gone, they missed the opportunity. And during the 8 years, key question number one, who was his vice president? Can you type out in the Zoom chat right now? I want to see your answer. Who was the vice president of Barack Obama? Go, go, go! And awesome, all of you got the answer right. All right, congratulations. You're not lost touch. That was none other than President Joe Biden, the current president of the United States of America. Meaning to say he knows exactly the same playbook as President Barack Obama. This is a very important tenet on the thesis that we're going to bank on for the next 5 years. And I'm going to show you how seriously we're going to make awesome amount of money for the next 5 years based on this tenet. And with that, I fast forward to none other than our joker right here, President Donald Trump. I call him the joker because you guys suddenly realize that, oh my gosh, we don't have to monitor the Twitter feeds anymore. And back then he was tweeting like crazy, driving us nuts, totally ineffective to follow his tweets, all right? Now, what can we learn from Donald Trump? This is really important. There was this period of stagnation started from 2018, beginning all the way to the end of 2019. This was the period he started the US-China trade war. And because he opened up this can of worms, guess what? Let me tell you the consequence of a bad president. He opened up this can of worms. As a result, it ignited the furor of the Chinese. And they are all out right now on a campaign to dominate the world and become super leader number one. And I'm going to show you exactly which year was that. This was all triggered right here. Back then, everything really is nice and easy. We got a good time making money right here. One whole year, 2017. And that is again, remind you the window. When you catch a nice window, you make easy money very, very fast. I'm talking about really crazy profits, all right? So we missed that beautiful 1 year. And guess what? What do we have right now? Towards the beginning of last year, February, March, the market crashed down. And then it rebounded up and broke even in how long? 10 months. I need you to write down 10 months into your black book so that you understand the concept of 10 months and all this sensitivity surrounding time periods. Now, 10 months for the market to go up, but a major presentation tonight is to prepare you for this. Please watch. Ready? I believe that courtesy of the B16, B16-17 variant and the B16-18 variant coming up from different countries, from Africa, from UK to India, right now it's spreading across the planet. I believe that there might be a second wave coming in. And this second wave will essentially spook up the market. We may encounter a second black swan event like this. Now, it really depends on how fast we can pick up on the vaccination. Right now, as the latest report just came in, most countries are just not having enough budget to buy up the vaccination, to roll out the campaign for their people. And I'm just going to look at surrounding countries within 4 hours flight radius out of Singapore, because the real thinking behind this is, my friends, we can only run as fast as the slowest guy around us. Now, you can do all you want to do, like 2 case studies for you to think about. Number one, Israel. I just have a Zoom call with our friends, some of my friends in Israel. The country has announced that you do not have to put on masks anymore. and they are almost 100% vaccinated as a population. But you know what's their secret strategy? No one is allowed to enter and exit Israel. They really confine themselves within their territory. That's the secret strategy conducted by Israel. Second country, Singapore. We cannot close our borders to external visitors because we are too small. As a result, B1617 has arrived in Singapore. We caught the variant. And recently there's a big spike. As a result, we are on our second lockdown right now, officially. But we are prepared because we have the resources to roll out the vaccination program, to isolate, to quarantine, do whatever it takes. But if you look around at surrounding countries, most of them are not equipped with the same resources. And that's the reason why I'm coming back to this chart right here tonight, something for you to think about, because are you ready for a second black swan? Because if you are ready, I'm going to draw for you the box that you're going to make obscene amount of money. Ready? Here we go. Because the moment that we have a second black swan, you already know the market will drop and you'll bounce back very fast. And I'm going to correlate this with the three presidents that we studied just now and put forward to you a really important idea. When it goes down, would you have the war chest to buy? That is the bigger question. You want to buy when there's blood all over the streets. And then by the time the guy rebounds, you are sitting on crazy amount of profits. Something for you to think about, something we're going to expound really deep tonight. And here we go. From this idea, we will stretch out and see for ourselves whether the next 10 years, is it going to be exciting years for our generation, or is it going to be all doom and gloomy? And that's the reason why I put out this very important chart right here. First one is the first 4 years of Joe Biden's presidency. And the good news is, my friends, we are right now on the first year only, 2021. We are starting from here. And then I stretch your imagination and ask you to think about, how about the second year? Would he win a second term? My belief is he will win the second term because of the amount of sugar candies he has been giving out to the people. The people love him right now. And he'll probably win a second term because the amount of cash he's throwing into the market is so obscene. I'm going to reveal to you in a short while why he's known as a $6 trillion man today. All right. But the most interesting part of this slide is actually covered here. This is the one that most people don't want to talk about. And Wall Street pundits have already given their prediction. In the year 2029, China will be number one. Mark my words, because everything I've done, I've been recorded in video. And you can trace back what I said today. All right. I believe China will be number one in the year 2029. And my counterpart, Ray Dalio's, he's saying that it might be even faster than that, because he's seen how the digital yuan is going to dominate the world. We're going to touch a lot about it in a short while later on. All right. But what's more important is I got a crazy little icon right here. How many of you love Bitcoin? Wave your hand. And why is Bitcoin in your teacher's chart right here? Because it's closely correlated in everything that we're going to present here tonight. And I just need you to give me sufficient bandwidth, focus, your attention span. You're going to catch this idea. Here we go. What I've done is to give you the quick introduction of what the world is coming to. And with that, I'll start off by explaining to you the concept of a spike. This is the core of everything that we do. What is a spike? Today you've seen a stock, you like it, you bought the shares at $15 per share. You buy one share, it costs you $15. You buy 100 shares, it costs you $1,500. And the very next day, the stock price spikes up from 15 to 45. Now, how do you calculate your profits? 45 minus 15, $30 net profit divided by the cost of your investment, 15. Ladies and gentlemen, you have made 200% profit return. For how long? A more important question is, for how long? Because your benchmark of excellence is defined by time. This took place, go in here and get out here, took place in 1 day. And that 1 day is measured as in whatever time zone you're in right now. You get in today, tomorrow you get out. That's called 1 day. And I want to share with you this very important concept of time squeeze. Why is so important for you to squeeze your time in anything that you do that got to do with money? Money requires you to squeeze the time. Not to bargain for a cheaper price, not to bargain for a bigger profit, but to squeeze that time. If you can master this art of squeezing the time, you can make a lot of money in a short time. So here we go. We have designed and built not just a concept about strategy or methodology, but we created the products to back up our thinking. So what we've done is we created crazy products like Daily Bread that's designed for you to make money in 1 day. Get in today, get out tomorrow, 1 day. We're going to go into live trading later on. We also designed a product called Resurrection, where you can save lives. Basically, we invest in drug companies, pharmaceutical companies, companies with vaccines waiting for approval, with drugs waiting for approval. You save lives at the same time, and you make money. That's beautiful. And then we enlarge the time from 1 month to 1 quarter. Triangulation is one of the most powerful products we ever built because we are tracking the insiders of the world real time. And when I talk about insiders, you know, this is the part where some of you come in with your distorted past and you start saying, oh, this guy is talking about illegal stuff. Wake up! Insider trading has been around for the longest time. The only difference is whether it's legal or illegal. So our tagline is called legit insider trading. And we are tracking the likes of sovereign wealth funds. That includes funds like Temasek, GIC, Khazanah in Malaysia, Korean Investment Fund in Korea, PIF in Saudi Arabia, and so on. We also track the likes of BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, Family Office. And we also track the likes of billionaires. Warren Buffett, Nick Schumer, Carl Icahn, Ray Dalio. We also track the likes of millionaires, those who got more than $1 million invested in the market. We also track the likes of top executives, CEO, CFO, COO, CTO, CLO, CIO, all the C-suite officers, they are in our radar. As long very best of the insiders on planet Earth, they will squeeze everything they do into 1 single day to have the advantage of time. Can all of you please type in time in your Zoom chat so that you really understand the concept of time? Go, 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 go!
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Now, if the insiders are squeezing time, to prevent the public from knowing what they buy or sell. How about you? You got to cultivate the same habit as them. They know how to squeeze their 45 days, wait for the very last day, wait for the very last minute, and then they inform the public, oh, you know what, last quarter I bought this stock. They squeeze to the last day, last minute. How do I know? Because we track all this data by the milliseconds. And we say, oh my God, this dirty old man, Warren Buffett, he squeezed in the last 3 seconds. That's how good they are. And then we also build the top 100, the best insiders on planet Earth, the very best. I mean, these insiders are. Let me dive really deep with you guys, because when we talk about fund managers and money managers, they are not like today they are a billionaire, and next year they drop their ranking, they became a millionaire, and then the third year they drop their ranking, they became a pauper. No, they are consistently up there. Billionaires for 10, 20 years, millionaires for 10, 20 years, consistently up there. They don't like drop and go up, drop and go. No. That's why we need a strategy to chase after this guy. Who are the best? We found it. We created a product. We call it the top 100. And even put a timestamp against them. They are proven damn good in what they do in investing for the last 10 years. We call it 1 decade. And then we start to formulate the thesis behind GOAT. It stands for greatest of all time. I'm going to show you my thinking about GOAT. And basically, what are the themes that will move the stock prices today for our season? And finally, we have YOLO. You only live once. And that's something we're going to dive deep in a short while. So let me dive deep right here. This is Barack Obama. And why is it important for us today to look at this old man? Because the history will connect the dots for us to prepare for the future. Here we go. You just need to know one thing about Barack Obama. In his 8 years legacy, he's known as the man to give out quantitative easing, QE. How much? 831 billion. That's all you need to know. This man is remembered for this. That saved the ass of the 2008 financial crisis. Great job. And you've seen the stock chart? Holy moly. Here we go. Up, and away. 8 solid years. Any idiot can make money. I literally talk about any idiot. In this kind of 45 degrees flight chart, it is so easy to make money. All right? No brainer. Done. Now we go to the second joker right here. That's President Donald Trump. Now you got to remember, he's probably the first president to sign off $1 trillion stimulus check, the very first in the history of America. And because of him, the US received $2.2 trillion under the CARES Act. This is one of the rare few good things he have done as a president, all right? 2.2 trillion that caused the V-shaped rebound, what I shown you last year. How long was that? One more time. 10 months, courtesy of Donald Trump, all right? So here we go. And that's exactly what we are talking about right here. Don't go down, up 10 months. And further up because of Joe Biden elected as the new president. So this very, very interesting time frame that you see here that caused so much uncertainty, you missed the opportunity already. We were trading right at the hot zone of the red box I drawn for you. Now you are in which zone right now? My friends, you are in this zone right now. You're in this zone where you're scratching your head, teacher, what should I do? Before you do anything, please get yourself educated. Let's study this man, President Joe Biden. This is right now officially known as the $6 trillion man. He came out with the American Rescue Plan, 1.9 trillion. And because of that, he started adding on. The Jobs Plan, 2.3 trillion. American Family Plan, 1.8 trillion. Total budget, $6 trillion. And this $6 trillion, if you go through the history, holy moly, no president has ever given out so much money in the first 100 days. No president ever. This is what is really important, because you are seeing a golden window of opportunity that never been presented before in our lifetime, in our father's lifetime, in our grandfather's lifetime. You're looking at it right now. And how do we translate this? Step one, we take out Barack Obama. Step two, we take out, within this 1 year, what Donald Trump and Joe Biden has contributed, 8.2 trillion. Step three, we compare what Obama did with 834 billion versus the 8.2 trillion. Holy mama! And the answer that we get is we are looking at 10x. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody please type in 10x right now. Woo!
Center of attention, they all want some. I'm like fire, hot as the sun. The dance floor is burning, call 911. Hands on my body.
Now you see this 10x. And I want to go through really slowly view, because the 10x is damn real, no? It's super duper real right now. Because all these have been approved under the Blue House Congress. With that, with this $6 trillion man, the 10x of what Barack Obama delivered in his 8 years, you know, my friends, he's only in office for how long? 5 minus 1, 4 months into office. Joe Biden is only 4 months in his office, getting all these stimulus plans ready to sign off. And I ask you a very simple question. You have $10 trillion, you have $8 trillion on the pipeline ready to flush the market. Do you see the future? If yes, can you please stop showing me your suicidal faces? Hey, everybody smile! Woohoo!
Circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound.
So we are just in the beginning of the first year, and the question is, are you ready? How many of you are ready? Ready? You are ready? Wave your hands right now! And thank you so much for waving your hands, because it's not just about, driving this excitement, this motivation, and all that kind of stuff by presenting to you the financial figures. I think this is really important, especially with the second lockdown. Some of you are getting really hit hard. I understand. My heart goes out to you. You don't have to tell me. I look at you, I know already. And I go out to the markets, I go out to the malls. Oh my God, it's a haunted place right now. Things have slowed down significantly with the second lockdown. And what are the telltale signs? You always benchmark the #1 brand out there. And that's none other than Singapore International Airlines. They need to raise $6 billion cash right now. Run out of cash. That's a telltale sign. Things are not good. Are the flights taking off? No. We recently terminated a travel bubble to Hong Kong. And it was all booked already, done. Cancel. And are the regional flights flying around? No. Maybe in the US, they are right now getting excited, euphoria and all that kind of stuff. But wait till you start seeing reports about B16, 17 and B